Meeting will come to order, please. Johanna, please read the statement of compliance.
Are you in timeout? The notice requirements of the Open Public Meeting Act for this meeting have been satisfied. A copy of the annual meeting notice was sent to the Atlantic City Press, Star Ledger, posted on the bulletin board in the municipal building, the municipal website, and filed in the office of the municipal clerk. Please turn off all electronic devices. Welcome to the City of Margate's regular commission meeting for June 3rd, 2021. This meeting is done in person and in the commission chambers and via teleconferencing in compliance with the Division of Local Government Service Regulations. Before we begin, the procedure for this meeting is as follows. All visitors to the meeting connected via teleconferencing will be muted until public participation session is open. Once public participation session begins, these visitors will be unmuted. The visitors in the chambers will have the opportunity to speak first, followed by visitors connected via teleconference. When instructed, please announce your name and address and wait for the moderator to recognize you before you begin speaking. Each participation session will be 3 minutes in length, and you will be notified when your time has expired. When public participation session completes, all teleconference visitors will be muted again.
Thank you very much. Let's all please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Call the roll, please.
Mayor Becker?
Here.
Commissioner Amadeo?
Here.
Commissioner Blumberg?
I am here.
We have in as first item on the agenda, a pleasant thing. We are swearing in some new firefighters. John,
Thank you, Mayor.
you're welcome.
Good afternoon, everyone. Chief, you have Cole first? Yes. Okay, Cole, you're welcome to come up with your family. And who would like to hold the Bible for you? He's going to come right over here. Commissioner's going to go here. He's going to come and stand right in here. Perfect. You're going to face. You're going to raise your right hand and you place your left hand on your Bible. I'm going to ask you to repeat after me. I, and state your full name.
I, Cole Moore,
Do solemnly and sincerely
do solemnly and sincerely
promise and swear
promise and swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America
that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and that I will faithfully,
and that I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly
and justly
perform and discharge
perform and discharge
all the duties of firefighter in the city of Margate
all the duties of firefighter in the city of Margate
to the best of my ability
to the best of my ability
and understanding.
and understanding.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations. One, two, three, we got it. While Cole's signing his paperwork, I just have a comment that I want to make because it's so important. We had retirements, and these two young men are filling the voids in our department, which I still claim we have the best police department, probably not only in the state of New Jersey, but in the country, and the best fire department. The individuals behind us are here every day for us, both in the PD and in the fire department. We're very proud. And the new implement, these two young men are going to aid us and all the residents to keep us safe as they always have done. They went through extensive training. They went through the academy, Cole and Brady both. They excelled through it, and they did, am I correct? They did a lot of in-house training beyond the training that they have to do when they go through the academy.
Absolutely, and this was the first time we took part in a training program that was in coordination with Brigantine and Ventnor City Fire Departments, where we actually did the in-house training with the 3 fire departments. So they rotated from station to station to get their training completed, and we really had a good time, and we really did a lot of extensive training. But it not only helped our new recruits, but it also refreshed our firefighters as well.
And the chief always welcomes me to sit down with our new firefighters, just to talk to them, and, you know, I always try to give them a pep talk and say, they're coming, they're gonna have the greatest job working for the city of Margate, and they're starting their career, and they have a lot to look forward, they just have to do all the right things. And it was funny, because Grady was one of our lifeguards. And when the 2 gentlemen were sitting there with me as we were discussing it, I told Grady he was fired. Look at the look on his face. He thought I was firing him from his career, which is his goal, but I had to fire him from the police patrol because you can't hold 2 jobs within the city. So we got to where we have to be now. Your career, right? So you're next. You're up. Grab the Bible.
Real quick, we just have one quick,
Okay.
if someone wants to.
John, we're taking us a long way.
That's fine. That's fine. You got a good candidate there. The chief, Smallwood, didn't want to lose him, but he wrote me a beautiful letter of recommendation, so it's more important. We need him in the fire department.
Great, it's official.
Grady, up here with you? Great.
Come on, Mom.
Congratulations.
Again.
Raise your right hand. Raise your left hand. Bible. And repeat after me. I, and state your full name.
I, Brady Newell,
Do solemnly and sincerely
do solemnly and sincerely
promise and swear
promise and swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America
that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and that I will faithfully,
and I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly
and justly
perform and discharge
perform and discharge
all the duties of office of firefighter
all the duties of office of firefighter
in the fire department of the city of Margate
in the fire department of the city of
to
Margate
the best of my ability
to the best of my ability
and knowledge,
and knowledge.
so help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Congrats. Mayor, you want to allow them a couple seconds? You don't have to stay for the whole meeting, those that came to the swearing-in ceremony.
Lock the door, everybody's staying for the whole meeting.
But we look forward to good things from Brady and Cole. It's been our pleasure and our honor to train them and get them prepared. And now it's your chance to see them out on the streets and actually see that they have owned their skills to do a professional job. And I look forward to good things from both of them. So good luck, and it's going to be a great career. As myself, I finished 30 years on Sunday. I will finish 30 years.
Hey, Dan,
And you're not
run,
retiring.
run while you get it.
That's Joanna.
Years. Yeah, man.
We're good to go. We're good, man. We're good.
We have before us for approval the minutes of our May 20th meetings. What is your pleasure?
I'll move to approve the minutes.
I'll second that.
Mayor Becker?
Yes.
Commissioner Amadeo?
Yes.
Commissioner Blumberg?
Yes.
We're now open for public comment. May comment on any subject. Is there any public comment?
Is there anyone on the line that would like to comment? You could comment on anything at this particular time.
The
Yes, I would.
Name and address, please.
May I speak? This is Shelley Puston, and my address is 7809
She's
Ventnor
talking on an
Avenue.
agenda item that's a resolution, which will be the next public comment session.
She's allowed to say anything she wants.
Pardon?
On anything.
She could speak on anything she wants now, right? Yeah.
Go ahead,
Go
Shelley.
ahead.
Okay, thank you. I'm calling to voice some multiple concerns about the possible closing again of North Essex Avenue for the benefit of Boca Restaurant. Last year, the neighborhood endured nightmarish conditions for the approximately 5 months Boca had their restaurant blocking Essex Avenue because there was an emergency situation, and we understood. However, all restrictions have since been lifted. As you know, restaurants can have 100% capacity with no social distancing or masks required. It's back to business as usual, and this past weekend it did look like Boca's business was booming, and I was happy for them. And safety is an important issue for the neighborhood. Surrounding streets are more crowded with Essex Avenue closed, if it would be, and exiting Essex Avenue to Ventnor Avenue would be blocked. When it rains a lot, flooding stops cars from driving the other way towards Winchester Avenue. Folks become trapped without the ability to drive out the Ventnor Avenue way, and also it's more inconvenient if emergency vehicles need easy access to the street. The noise volume was beyond disruptive last year. The volume was so loud in my house in particular, talking on the phone, watching TV, reading, writing was just impossible. We pay taxes. We should be able to relax comfortably in our own homes. Closing the windows is not an option in the summertime, and that didn't help anyway. I did try that. And this is a mixed-use neighborhood, by the way. So yes, of course, people like to eat outside, but Boca and other area restaurants already have outside seating. Boca has tables around 2 sides of the building, as you know. The other reason is people choose not to be vaccinated and only feel comfortable eating outside. There is outside seating, and that's a choice they make. They can always make another choice. You, the commissioners, are under pressure from both sides. You have my sympathy. However, the neighborhood has already put up with extreme noise, trash, disrespect, unsafe conditions. We have done more than our share already. The bottom line is last year the neighborhood sacrificed and compromised for the good of Boca. Should we be forced to do so again when the restrictions have been lifted, and it does look like Boca is back to even more business than usual as people are eager to go outside and go out. Please don't make us sacrifice for another summer. Please don't make us live in the middle of a very noisy carnival atmosphere.
Thank you, sir.
I would like to speak as well on this topic when appropriate.
Okay, name and address, please.
Thank you. Andrew Rosen. You ready for me?
Address, please.
Oh, sorry. 11 North Essex.
Okay, go ahead.
Thank you. I want to voice similar concerns. I understand the spirit of the law for last summer, and we were all accommodated, coming together as a community to support our local businesses. As Shelley just mentioned, that is no longer the case. I've been told over the past months and since last year that we're just waiting to see if things open up. Things have been opened up. I don't believe commandeering a public roadway any further, any longer, for the expense of our residents, and trying to work with our residents is something that is warranted. It was, to Shelley's point, loud, disrespectful. I have young children. It was heavily unsafe on many accounts. I experienced emergencies or vehicles that couldn't back out. There was alcohol in public streets around the kids. It was filthy, dirty, and this is a town where I get my trash cans are out more than an hour or two past when they're supposed to be, but bottles all over the place were a mess. This is completely unwarranted. If Boca wishes to have outdoor dining, they can do what everyone else does and use their own property, not public state of roadways, which is beyond absurd. It is, as I stated, unsafe. I'm really afraid of what this president sets moving forward, and don't at any level understand why this is even being considered, given the state of affairs and what my emails with the commissioners have stated from Jump Street, saying that they're just hoping things open up and then we'll address then. And we are now open up. To Shelley's point, I have friends that went in Boca this weekend and couldn't even get served. They were so busy. I heard ruminations that this is being done to make up for past lost revenue, which I think is also absurd. And Boca was extremely busy last year. I have many friends in the local area who are restaurant owners, and there are things beyond the PPP loans. There's SBA loans that were addressed. There's also loans we talked about. There was grants, and there were other loans that are talking about the Revitalization Act. If they lost money, that can be accessed if that's the case. To not work with your residents and care about their needs is a travesty to me. And to railroad this thing through, I had 2 days notice that this was going to be on the agenda. And when I was only after my own due diligence trying to find out what was happening, and it's beyond frustrating that they should be able to have a block party all summer again at our expense and our quality of life. Thank you for your time and appreciation to this matter.
Thank you very much, sir. Anyone else?
Anyone else on the line like to speak?
Step to the microphone, please. Name and address.
Mike Richmond, 402 North Exeter Avenue. I live on Exeter. Obviously, I'm not as impacted as much as the two people who just spoke, but I do use that street a lot. But then again, I didn't choose to live near a commercial district, so I think that sometimes, when people want to live near commercial zones, there's advantages and there's disadvantages. I also, and this isn't so much last year but the year before, I just remember in the summertime driving down like Washington Avenue, Jefferson. I mean, there's a lot of action there. It's almost like, people having a good time, people doing what I think Margate should be like in the summertime, which is to enjoy a vacation-like atmosphere. When I would get down to the other end where Boca is, even though they do have outside seating, it just seemed it was like dead in that area compared to the other part of town. So I think that having the street blocked off for a couple months just kind of, I think a big part of Margate is to support the local businesses because, again, they're making most of their hay 3 or 4 months out of the year, and then they're, kind of suffering the rest of the year. So I think anything we can do to I understand it's an inconvenience, but it's only a couple months or couple months at the most in the summertime. So I actually support the closing of the street. I think it's good for Margate. I think it's good for the area. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else care to speak?
Good afternoon. My name is Ed Berger. My address is 9402 Amherst Avenue, and I'm also the president of the Margate Business Association. And it's on behalf of all of the members of the association that I come here today to thank the city of Margate for the extraordinary efforts that they've made over the course of the last year and a half to try and make sure that the damage that was done to the business community was mitigated to the best of their ability. And when I say this, I mean it sincerely, that each one of the individual city commissioners, the chief of police, the chief of the fire department, our public works department, there wasn't a single office in City Hall that didn't make an effort to try and help each one of these businesses who, in and of themselves, because of the nature of their business, because they are a seasonal business, because they have to make 365 days worth of revenue out of 99 days of summertime, and then figure out how to make their expenses and pay their people and also take care of their families. What was done in the city of Margate, by the city of Margate for the business association's members, which are over 110 at this point, was an extraordinary effort. I also want to address what these individual businesses had to do to survive. And just because the governor of New Jersey told you it's okay to take your mask off, doesn't mean that the damage that was done to these businesses immediately, like flipping a light switch, goes away. The way these businesses survived was to tap down every dime that they owned of their own personal cash reserves, dipped into their individual lines of credit, got behind the 8 ball to try and keep their businesses alive. And now, just at the time when we're about to move into the season where just maybe we can have a good year and these businesses can start to recoup some of the damage that was done, we have people that are telling them that maybe we should roll back the efforts that we're making trying to help them. I find this to be a very myopic point of view, that when you look at the businesses in this city, you have to understand that the community of Margate itself and the business community are inexplicably tied together, that the two of them must be healthy together. One doesn't work without the other. Shutting down the street is not for Boca. It's one of the things that the city is doing for the city of Margate. All the people that are going to be going to Boca over the course of this summertime, hopefully thousands of people that will go there, and will go to the lot behind Tomatoes, and will go to the new area behind Cookies, and will go behind Roberts, are all going to enjoy the city of Margate the way that they want to enjoy it. We have turned into a resort town, but it doesn't detract from the fact that the business community right now is in a critical state. We're in a critical recovery state, and anything that the city can continue to do to try and help these hard-working, very, very resilient, and very ingenious people that have figured out a way to juggle their way through this catastrophe would be greatly continued and appreciated. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ed. Anyone else?
Yes. Lou
Name and
Freeman.
address, please.
Lou Freeman, 302 North Douglas Avenue. I own Boca. The governor said November to 2022 is when we're allowed to open up the streets to everybody. He encourages it. You know, the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few. And there's lots of people right here in my hand that want us to be open. If anybody sat at Boca Saturday morning and watched the chaos of cars, of people hitting cars, of people almost getting killed by cars, the people screaming, road rage was out of control on Essex Avenue in the morning. It was crazy. If you want to talk about safety, if you ask me, that street should be permanently shut down. Don't give it to me, shut it down. Make it public access for everybody. It was insane. And I also want to thank Shelley and Andrew for counting my money. Thank you so much, because that really helped me out. I had enough, thanks.
Thank you. Anyone else? Fred, do you have anybody on the phone?
Ventnor Avenue.
Say that again,
Hi,
please.
this is Mark Leo. This is Mark Leo, 7007 Ventnor Avenue from Huffington Moore. I'd like to just, as a closure, it's a huge detriment to our business as well. is if the traffic Lou was talking about in the morning is partly because of our business as well. We had a lot of customers who can't access our business, can't come to us and decide, forget it. Why would I go there when the road's closed off? It's too dangerous. There's no parking. I understand that the plan is to have 15-minute times where they're leave parking. Those should be used for customers only, not for deliveries as well, if that road is to be closed. It's not good for the street, but I don't have much else to say.
Thank you.
Could he clarify what business he owns?
Sir, can you clarify what business you own?
I'm in the family of Hot Bagels and More.
Okay, thank you. Hot bagels.
Is there any other public comment? Is there a motion to close this session of public comment?
I'll move to close.
Second.
Mayor Becker?
Yes.
Commissioner Amadeo?
Yes.
Commissioner Blumberg?
Yes.
We'll now go to public comment 2. Are there items on the agenda? Is there any public comment? Last chance.
I'll move to close public comment.
Second.
Mayor Becker?
Yes.
Commissioner Amadeo?
Yes.
Commissioner Blumberg?
Yes.
Johanna, would you please continue?
May I have a motion for the introduction of ordinance number 8, 2021, an ordinance by the City of Margate in Atlantic County, New Jersey, prohibiting the operation of any class of cannabis business within its geographical boundaries.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Mayor Becker?
Yes.
Commissioner Amadeo?
Yes.
Commissioner Blumberg?
Yes.
May I have a motion for the introduction of ordinance number 9, 2021, an ordinance establishing Chapter 105, prohibiting consumption of cannabis, marijuana, and hashish in public areas in the city of the Code of the City of Margate City, County of Atlantic, State of New Jersey.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Mayor Becker?
Yes.
Commissioner Amadeo?
Yes.
Commissioner Blumberg?
Yes.
May I have a motion for ordinance number 10, 2021, an ordinance amending Chapter 240, Stormwater Management?
Make that motion.
Second.
Mayor Becker?
Yes.
Commissioner Amadeo?
Yes.
Commissioner Blumberg?
Yes.
May I have a motion for Resolution 120, 2021, an ordinance or authorizing payments of claims?
So moved.
Second.
Mayor Becker?
Yes.
Commissioner Amadeo?
Yes.
Commissioner Blumberg?
Yes.
May I have a motion for Resolution number 121, authorizing payments to Colmar Home Center?
So moved.
Second.
Mayor Becker?
I abstain.
Commissioner Amadeo?
Yes.
Commissioner Blumberg?
Yes.
May I have a motion for the consent agenda, which consists of Resolution 122, 2021 through 127, 2021?
I'll move the consent agenda.
I'll second that.
Mayor Becker?
Yes.
Commissioner Amadeo?
Yes.
Commissioner Blumberg?
Yes.
Thank you, Johanna. Anyone
Mike,
have an update?
I have an update.
Please go forward.
Well, there's a couple things that I had jotted down. First off, I really want to thank the police department and our city engineer, Ed Dennis, for the coordination for the major changes between the road diet on Atlantic Avenue and the Amherst Avenue striping and the changes down there. It was a coordinated effort on both sides. The chief and the captains, both captains were involved, putting cones up a lot of mornings at 7 o'clock because cars were driving in the proposed bike lane, which wasn't really marked at the time. But through the course of, since we had our original Zoom meeting, when you presented it to the public, we had those 2 meetings, I received several phone calls from our county executive. And most recently, we received a letter on May 20th that was addressed to the mayor and commissioners from our county executive. And it's a short letter, and I just want to put it on the record and read it. My compliments on the redesign of Atlantic Avenue in Margate. It is a bold move. I believe, as you do, that 4 lanes of traffic, along with the turning lane with pedestrians carrying beach equipment, pushing carriages, etc., has become more of a problem with the state's mandated crossing rules, stepping off the curb to stop traffic where there is no signalization. I have heard the critics of your reconfiguration and want you to know that as your county executive, I wholeheartedly support your efforts. Sincerely, Dennis Levinson. So a lot of times our work doesn't go unnoticed, and I think it's a good point, and I think it's good for the city what's out there. So I want to thank everybody on that. Other than that, I have nothing else, Mayor.
Maureen, anything?
No, thank you, Mike.
Okay, is there a motion to adjourn the meeting?
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Mayor Becker?
Yes,
Commissioner Amadeo?
Yes.
Commissioner Blumberg?
Yes.
and thank you all for participating.